Hello everyone and welcome to economic class. So in this particular presentation we are going to see the first recapitulation what we studied in our previous class, and we are going to move to the next topic. So I welcome you all. Please have a notebook and a pen to copy down important points. Moving further. In our previous class we already seen the topic number sustainability of land. In that sixth topic we had seen the land sustainability, how the land is going to be sustainable. So we are in the tour, we were seeing how the story of the village Palampur, in that farming was the main occupation. In that farming again we were on the topic about the green revolution, modern farming methods. In that we are seeing sustainability of the land. That's a recapitulation what we studied in our previous presentation. So here the previous presentation speaks about that according to the scientific report. What the scientific report is producing and giving to us, in a modern farming natural resources are overused. So in modern farming methods, when we are adopting modern farming methods, so the natural resources are overused. So what the natural resources, the water and the land are overused again and again. So the fertility of the land is going to be decreased. The underground water level is going to be decreased. There will be a scarcity of the water resource also. The next, the groundwater, river, lakes and polluted by the way of using the mechanical fertilizer. I have shown you that photograph in that the modern farming methods. I told you to draw also that. So that modern farming methods and the factors of production for the modern farming method. In that there was one factor was there, that was fertilizers. By using excessive chemical fertilizer, what is happening? The groundwater level, rivers, lake, the water is going to be polluted. Second, chemical fertilizer also kills the bacteria and the microorganisms in the soil. Next, the continuous use of the chemical fertilizer has led to the degradation of the soil health. The health of the soil is degraded. So soil, after cultivation of one crop, two crop, three, four, so many crop cultivation, the quantity and the quality of the soil is going to be degraded. The soil is not going to be that much fertile to produce more good and healthy production. Now that was the overview. So after this overview, we are going to moving to about the seventh point of this chapter. So chapter number 1, the story of village Palampur, and that we are on the topic number 7. In that today we are going to have the outlook of the particular point, which is here, how is land distributed between the farmers of Palampur. Here we are going to see about, first we have seen farming in the village Palampur, the land is fixed. Now we are on the topic to see about this land, how it is divided into different families and how they are cultivating them. Whomsoever is having a large piece, those who are not having the land piece. So like that we will see in this story. So let's move. You must have realized how important the land is for farming. Why? Because without land, the farming is not possible. Unfortunately, not all the people engaged in the agriculture have sufficient land for cultivation. It means about that only few farmers are having their own land and the rest of they are having the landless farmers. Right? So we will see about that which families are doing farming, they are having their own farms in the village Palampur. Then next, in Palampur, about 1/3 of, so if we are having the 1/3 of 450 families are landless. So out of 450, if we are dividing it, so 150 families will be there. They don't have their own piece of land for cultivation. Next, 150 families, most of them are Dalits. That means we are talking for the scheduled caste people. and have no land for cultivation. They are having no land and they are moving on the large farmers' land for the cultivation. Next, one of the remaining families who own the land, 240 family cultivate small plots of the land less than 2 hectares in a size. So here we are seeing about that. So 240 families, they are cultivating the small plots of the land and they are less than 2 hectares in size. So the size of the land is decreasing and decreasing. Next, cultivation of such plot does not bring adequate income to the farmer families. For the farmers family, they don't have the adequate income because the piece of the land is small and the output will also very small. The farmer will not able to adopt the modern farming methods, right? And if they are not able to adopt the modern farming method, by using the traditional method also, their output is less. If they are managing somehow the modern farming method, then also the piece of the land is small. So the land is giving how much output of that. Next, here is the one story of Govind, and by that one we are going to understand about how the land is distributed generation by generation in a family, and the land is fixed and divided into single piece. Just take an example of a dairy milk Cadbury and you are sharing to the whole class. So that much big one is there. You are opening and making the pieces sharing. So the piece is going to be small and small when it is going to be distributed. Same, the land is fixed and one person, then his son, then again is going to distribute it into generation by generation. The land is going to be divided into small piece and the productivity will be low and they don't have the adequate income to survive. Then here in 1960, Govind was a farmer. So here we are going to see the story of Govind and what the story of the Govind is telling to us. So here Govind was a farmer with 2.25 hectares of largely unirrigated land. That means they don't have the irrigation facility. With the help of the three sons, he was having the three sons. Govind cultivated the land through they did not live very comfortably because their family was there and there were hardship going on. They were not managing the adequate income out of this cultivation, so they were not living very comfortably. The family managed to feed itself with a little bit of extra income from one buffalo that the family possessed. So they are managing some extra income by one buffalo, right? And now they are managing by selling the milk of the buffalo. Then next, some years after Govind's death, this land was divided among his three sons. One single piece of land was there and that was divided into the three sons, and each now has a plot of the land that is 0.75 hectares in the size. So 0.75, 0.75 and 0.75. Even with the improved irrigation, now they are having improved irrigation system. Earlier they were not having, but still they were not managing the adequate income to survive comfortably. Here they are having their own piece of the land, but the land piece is divided into three now. After having modern irrigation facilities or improved irrigation facilities and modern farming methods, Govind's sons are not able to make their living from their land. From their land they are not able to make their living comfortably. They have to look for additional work during part of the year. So this story is speaking about how the land is distributed, and after one generation another, if Govind's sons, their children are also going to have the piece of the land it will divide. So this 0.7 hectares of the land is going to divide again into one piece, two piece, and see if the land size is going to reduce or after using the modern farming method and other things, still they are having the low productivity. Next, this is the land distribution pattern in the village Palampur. Please observe carefully because we are going to discuss some question on this particular topic. Please see the picture number 1.5. Palampur village distribution of cultivated land. In that we are seeing about the cultivated land. Right? Next, moving to the point after that, we will discuss this picture number 1.5 and its question. You can see the large number of small plots scattered around the village in the picture. So in the picture, as I shown you the picture, you have seen the small squares, right? So how the big land is divided into small single units. Again, I will show you the photograph. Please see how the small land is here. Only big pieces are few over here, and this is the small one. The next, these are cultivated by the small farmers. On the other hand, more than half the area of the village is covered by the plot. They are quite larger in the size. In Palampur, there are 60 families of medium and large farmers who cultivate more than 2 hectares of the land. Next, a few of the large farmers have the land extending over the 10 hectares or more. It simply means about to showcase you again the figure 1.5. A piece of land, how another piece of land are small dividations are there. Piece of lands are small, somewhere else are large. So it's telling the story of the large farmer, medium farmer and small farmers. See once again, these plots indicates about the large farmers. Right? These areas talking about the small farmers which are there holding a small piece of land. See, these are the medium farmers. Moving towards our discussion on the question answer. Let's discuss. In the picture 1.5, can you shade the land cultivated by the small farmer? So yes, you can shade the land cultivated by the small farmer. So as you have seen the picture number 1.5, in that it's talking about can you shade the land cultivated by the small farmer? So the small tiny pieces of the land in that particular picture that was cultivated by the small farmer because they don't have the large farm. Again I will show you that particular photograph. See this. So this is the square part. This square is cultivated land by the small farmer. This here also. So these squares are small squares, are the land which are cultivated by the small farmer. Moving to the next question. So here, why do so many families of farmers cultivate such small plots of land? First point is here. The answer, the points I had extracted from the paragraph only and placed here, so that the doubt of this question can be solved here only. So here, the point is speaking here. Why do so many families of farmer cultivate such small plot of land? Because generation by generation, the land distribution pattern is increasing. The family generation are increasing, and one land, as we have seen in the story of Govind, right? And how the story of Govind, the land is distributed into 3. Right, like that, 1/3 of the 450 families are landless. They are landless, and others, they are having the small piece of land. 240 families cultivate small plots of land less than 2 hectares, and plus rural poverty amongst the farmers. So rural poverty is also one of the examples. They are cultivating a small plots of land. They don't have large land. If they are having 2 son, 3 son, again the land is divided into 2, 3 pieces. So they are having the small plots of land and they are cultivating. Poverty is the reason, the size of family is the reason, and they don't have a land piece also. So there are landless farmers also. So moving towards the next. The distribution of the farmer in India and the amount of the land they cultivated is given in the following graph. So in the upcoming slide we are having the graph which speaking about the distribution of farmer in India and amount of land they cultivate. So discussed in the classroom. So here in the classroom we are going to have a discussion on that. So I am just showing you the pie chart or the graph which speaks about the cultivation. So here graph number 1.1, distribution of cultivated areas and farmers. So here we are seeing the graph. Which graph is speaking about the two pie charts here? In that we are seeing cultivated land and number of farmers. So here two colors are there, light one and dark one. So the light one is talking about marginal and small farmers. Dark color, this dark color is speaking about the medium and large farmers which are having more than 2 hectares and they are having less than 2 hectares. Right? So by seeing this following graph, you can understand cultivated land 55.4% and 44.6%. So this dark part is belonging to the medium and the large farmer, and this light one is the marginal and the small farmer. If we are seeing the number of farmers here, so more farmers we are seeing, and this area 15%. So, but the cultivated land is more, right? And here number of farmers are more. See the land pattern here. And that source has been taken from the pocket book of agriculture statistics of 2017. This I taken from the textbook. In the textbook it is given there. So your homework is that once again you have to see and see the comparison how the large farmer and the medium farmers are in a much more beneficial situation. Next, we are going to have the overview of this chapter. Whatever we study in this particular chapter, now we are going to have an overview. In that overview, what's talking about? About 1/3 of the 415 families are landless in the village Palampur, and they belong to from which? So they are mostly Dalit peoples. So 240 families cultivate small plots of the land less than, that is the 2 hectares in the size, and remaining 60 families cultivate more than 2 hectares of the land. That means they are medium and large farmers. Then a few of the large farmers cultivate 10 hectares or more than 10 hectares of the land. That means they are the large farmers. So this overview is over here. I request you to please copy down this. The overview is speaking about the land distribution pattern of the village Palampur. Then, because of the small size of their plots, their production is not enough. Their size of the land is small, so they can't produce much more production because the land piece is small itself. Then, the lack of surplus means that they are unable to obtain capital from their own saving and have to borrow. The reason why they have to borrow from some other, because their production is not too much high. Their production is not having surplus. So how they are going to save money? So instead of their saving and keeping that saving for the upcoming production activities on their land, they have to borrow from the money lender or from the large farmers. Then, besides the debit, many of the small farmers have to do additional work as a They don't have that much amount of income from their land, so they can sustain their life effectively. So in this particular point, we have seen about how the land distribution of the village Palampur, we have seen the land distribution pattern of the village Palampur. How the land is going to be divided into single pieces. One person, 3 cells. Again the one land is divided into 3. Again if they are having more children, that same land is going to be divided into number of strides. So if the land size is small, the production is automatically going to be very small. The farmer is not going to fulfill the basic needs of the life and want to go for the additional work. Okay? Next, lastly, your today's homework is about that you have to make a note of all the points of here and you have to read the graph and the question which I stated to you. You have to write down the answer of that. And lastly, I want to thank each and everyone for watching the video. If you are having any doubt and difficulty, please let me know, and be safe and be secure at your home. Thank you to each and everyone for watching this video. Jai Hind.